Okay, now let's see if... okay, I do have game capture going. Then I click on my Nubby, and it's not seeing me click on my Nubby. So, I have so many flippin' sources for games in this list. It's gonna be picky about it every time of like, no, I need that exact window. Not just a window that's a game, but the exact window. Okay, Nubbies. Okay, and then we say it's specifically the window that is Nubby's Number Factory if you're not gonna pick it up, you dumb. NNF full version.exe. Yeah, now it does it. And now it does it in the wrong size too. Gee, thanks. And in the wrong layering too. Okay, I want you to fit to screen. And why do you do this to me? It's letterboxed on both sides. That means make it bigger, you goof. Okay. And also not on top of all of the everything. Please be with the pile of games. Oh, I forgot to do the roller coaster too. That's not necessary. On a voice call, but hello. Hello, hello. Or, well, okay, wait, maybe I shouldn't say anything on voice. Type it in chat. Wait. There we go. Now I'm not interrupting anything. Okay, I wanted to... I don't need to pull up the roller coaster. That's silly and not necessary. So, settings. Want to delete the save file. Want to unfull screen it. Aha, which full screens it? Okay, or I wanted to click full screen. There we go. Okay, so now should be good to go. And then I want to take notes. That is an important thing here. I want to take notes. I think kind of like from the start here too. So that's a credits screen with just the text on it, but at any rate I would want a credits. So let's figure out exactly what all screens I want for my own game as well. Then I can really say that this is game research. Okay, credits with links to the socials. And then I would want, well, because of the possible creative aspects, it would be play, which would then go to the, I guess, sort of adventure, but also, oh yeah, I forgot to put the ad break. I lied. So I guess we're not going to actually start Nubbies. I'm going to just take notes here for now. Okay, the question was... shrink that. There we go. Oh, I could have zoomed that out there too. Okay, but the play screen is going to have both a, like, just, like a survival. not exactly, but, and then creative. Well, I guess it's more like a high score. It's the, kind of the main mode, and then the other mode. Settings, which has just sound, and a full screen, and key bindings. So, settings, get sound, like a window, mode, and then bindings. Oh, and then advanced settings. There is a set of advanced settings for animations and particles. So that is kind of graphics settings. I wonder how hard this style is to achieve. Because I feel like it's a pixelization on the graphics, not a pixelization of the whole screen, but I don't actually know. I don't actually know how to achieve this kind of style. Not that I would want to achieve this kind of style anyway, but... And I did download a few different ball roguelikes. So I got Nubbies, I got Ballionaire, and I got... What was the other one I got? I got a third one. So I do have games for research. That is actually what a loot plot, that's what it was. A loot plot is still early access, so that's kind of... maybe it doesn't fully count, but I think it also is kind of very much that, like, complex grid of stuff. Okay, and then it's ad break, so I will do ad break before I get a rollin'. A bouncin', I suppose. Yeah, something like this pipe animation. If I could just snag that, if I could just steal that, I'm also making a roguelike about pipes and balls. So, here for real? Well, that works out, because I am also now here for real. And ready to ball. We ballin'. Hey, you must be the new employee they were telling me about. Does he have a nose ring? Is that also what's happening in that photo? Or does his nose just look funny to me? My name is Tony, and I'm going to be your supervisor. My job is to show you how to run the factory. I don't really care about your name or anything, so let's just get into this. First things first, welcome aboard to Nubby's Number Factory, the world's leading number manufacturer. Wait, this is some kind of crypto scheme? Is that what this is? We're crypto mining for the next number. This is the main control center of the factory. First task is to launch our mascot Nubby down the pegboard. Hold down right mouse and left mouse button to launch Nubby. Oh, hold down the right mouse button and press left mouse button to launch Nubby. Interesting. Why do I have to hold down the mouse button? I guess I will find out. And then, where do I want to aim, Nubby? Not like that. Wow, you're really bad at this. Is a little more accurate, but okay. At this factory, your only job is to make big numbers. By launching Nubby at these pegs, you will earn however many points are shown on the peg. This number shows how many points you made in a round. Good at Nubby tutorial added to your list. Thank you for pointing out all my strengths. I appreciate every strength being shown to me in such a stark light. It's such a boon. it's so appreciated. The number on the bottom is the goal. If you beat the goal, the board will restock. If you get a really high score, the board can restock multiple times in a single round. The photos. Oh wait, I forgot to say what a restock even is. Well, listen up because restocks are an important thing. The photos are insane. Chill and good at Nubby tutorial. Nice to meet you. See, like something like a character creator. I don't know if I'm good at that, but I spend a lot of time in a character creator. I'm at least thorough in that regard. When the board restocks, a bunch of new pegs will fall from the sky and fill all your empty spaces. Soon after, pairs of pegs with the same number will merge into one greater peg. Let's try it out. Keep launching Nubby until you beat the goal. Okay, so now we aim at the I thought this was supposed to be about bouncing, not just shooting through. Okay. You can do better than that. Do it again. Oh, where's the bouncing? Peg-tacular. That was peg-alicious. You're a star. Gee, thanks. Just kidding. No, you're not. Also, I'm late. I missed the earlier talk. Did we talk about theme submissions? I meant to do that. I thought about that while I was at work, and then I drove back here and forgot entirely, and was like, let's just jump into Nubbies, but I did want to do that. I did want to think about the themes, so have a week to do it. Well, seeing how I just started this, maybe we do this and then come back for the themes. But I did have, like, I made a Google Doc and everything to actually put down, like, themes just in case I come up with any. Did it not save the fact that I did that? Yeah, there we go. I put that down, and then talking to a coworker, he said wind and or winding, which I thought wasn't too bad. I thought in my hubris, maybe doing plunk as a theme, see what other people come up with. But we have this new feature in submissions. Tell me what you think when you can. Oh, I just realized it's not even showing my screen there. Okay, but I'm good at the tutorial. I gotta continue being good at the tutorial. Or maybe not. Okay, we're almost done. To rearrange your new pegs, press the jumble button. Nice. Launch Nubby one more time. Right mouse button plus left mouse. I want to show you something. So, straight through the middle again. Okay, so the ones are the ones that just disappear. Everything else it bounces off of. Okay. So you might have noticed that Nubby goes through some pegs, but not others. Nubby will bounce. Nubby will break ones, but will bounce off any peg greater than one. Alright, bud. That's it for the tutorial. You figure the rest out for yourself. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. Every time you launch Nubby, you lose one life. If you run out of lives, the sun will explode. No. No pressure. But luckily, every time the board restocks, you get 1 life back. So as long as you keep making big numbers, nobody gets hurt. Okay, now I'm done. Thanks for not pressing the skip tutorial button. I know that was difficult for you. I'll start you off with a fresh new factory now. Good luck. Thank you. Zone 1, the factory. Okay. I have 3 gold and nothing to purchase. I guess we'll figure out the purchasing. I don't know what this bar is. I don't know what this assuming stock of extras is. And apparently, possibly another currency. Interesting. And the number I'm looking for is 17. So possibly go for the 8s. That's a good theme. They should join the jam. That's true. I hadn't asked about like if he might be interested in doing the jam or not. Yeah, although like a winding and wind, I think do need a little bit of an explanation simply because of the fact that it does look like wind, but it could also be wind, which I suppose the theme submission does have the opportunity to explain what the heck you were thinking anyway, so. Because it's kind of hard to hit the middle there. And then at some point, I do get an extra mabob, right? Aha, there's some extra things to mabob. Wingdings, that's also another good interpretation. +1 item slot. Reroll for 5 gold. Or G, whatever the G happens to be. What is this exactly? Pops, dubs, halves, full pops, deaths, wall hits, bounces, and summons. We'll keep that closed for now. I don't need to have that open right now. Click an item to drag it into your inventory. Right mouse button on items in your inventory to sell them. Okay, so, and then rare item odds is 5%. I like it when they surface this kind of thing. That's always nice. So disguise glasses. And then does this say the rarity of the items and stuff too? Highest number peg popped. Pops 2 random pegs. Summons a sharp shot that will pop a random peg 10 times. Pops the lowest peg twice. And then the sharp shot that... And then what if I purchase 2 of them? I can't do that because I don't have enough money to do that. So I suppose we'll just do this. Because this, I think, will re-roll the items in the shop too. Oh, unless I freeze them. I see. Okay. So disguise glasses, which is highest number peg popped, pops 2 random pegs. It's the most expensive. Or we could go for the summon a sharp shot that will pop a random peg 10 times. And then this goes away, or what? I think I've seen this one possibly, so... Look at those rings. 2. Slot 2. Does it matter which slot it goes into? Okay, we're good here. Pop those random pegs. The right click, left click doesn't feel fully necessary, but also probably not a bad idea. I've definitely heard that sound effect. Those little bits of nubbies, I've definitely heard that sound effect. Well, and it's also if I can... Oh, that was awful. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad. I'm gonna lose all my lives and the sun's gonna explode. That was better. That was better. Special round, Gold Rush. Hover over this to see details. This peg will give you 1 coin when popped for the first time. Okay. Ah, so these are gold nuggets. Which are fairly close to those other yellow ones, but that's okay. Do a little bit of that. Did that not get fully popped? So did that give me a bunch of money? Or just some money? I have 0 for this round? Have I done this bad already? I didn't think I was doing good, but... Oh, yes, the sun is now exploding. That was quick. Okay. I bought a single item and then it proceeded to lose immediately. I guess I did not need a bunch of gold. Okay, well, new game. We gotta do a couple of rounds of this at least. Why couldn't I do that last time? Yeah, restock times 3, so... I got fooled by the special round. It seems so. The gold, the allure of the shiny, shiny gold was too much for me. And I succumbed. And lost everything. Yeah, double restock. I'm like, these feel like I'm doing okay. Yeah, look at it bouncing around and hitting all the pegs. Look at all these rounds. Look at all that bouncing. What is this? A monstrosity. Every 1.5 seconds, if Nubby is still alive, summons a meat orb that will float around and pop pegs. Meat orbs die when Nubby dies. That was the disguise glasses. Just pops 2 random pegs. 10% chance to cause a giant explosion that pops all pegs once. 40% chance if you're on your last shot. And then summons 1 quill, it falls from the sky and pops 1 peg. I've definitely seen the cactus too. Okay, this monstrosity is horrifying. I like it. Let's try that. Did it say why the slots matter? Or why the position of the slots matter necessarily? Also, when do you go to the shop? Is it just after a certain round, or is there something else triggering it? It didn't seem great. Maybe we just go straight down the middle? That seems a little better. Oh, okay. Now I'm afraid. I don't want to do this one. that ruined me. It soiled me. It broke me. It just I didn't have nearly as much success. That was terrible. Maybe I was trying to skim off the top here. Go in here maybe. That's looking pretty good. That's looking excellent. That was a great one. I got loot. Hell yeah. Perks are permanent. The chaotic perk. Force triggers 1 random item. The only random item I have is this. The force triggers 1 item in slot 6. Aha. Okay. 1 time for every 7 rounds you've passed. So that's why these are important. 50% complete. Okay. Oh, and then I was trying to pay attention to what all of the mechanics are in the game. Oh, so that's what this is when you hit the next round, when you hit the shop, when you hit the other random items and stuff too. Yeah, you guys are getting close to it, and I am gonna just prototype the thing anyway. But I think doing some game research like this is actually not a bad idea. Okay, so for nubbies, the gameplay loop is aim the ball, pop as many pegs as you can to hit a score goal, and that determines whether you win or lose. So let's write that down as a... write that down. Okay, so the gameplay loop for nubbies... So... Okay, so then it's drop nubby to pop pegs. Yeah, the core basic gameplay is drop nubby to pop pegs to reach score goal. Nubbies doesn't have piece placement. I don't think it's different from Playing Replicat. Yeah. I mean, it's partially just looking at other ball-based games, looking at other score roguelikes and stuff too, so... the stuff that is, vaguely similar, if not exactly similar. It's also just looking at gameplay loops of a roguelike, just to say, okay, here's what... just examples of what the competition is doing and stuff too. No, to reach a round goal, rather. And then the upgrades are affecting the ability to pop pegs and... Okay, there's 2 layers of upgrades, which are the items and the perks. So then the upgrades... Because I do like a game that does, like, kind of few categories of items, but then lots of ways that the items... I feel like we should prioritize Volley and Arrow or Loot Plot to understand what would be interesting in a piece placement roguelike. Because you said you tried Loot Plot demo, didn't like it that much. Well, it was one of those games of like, I think this is close to the kind of thing I want to make, but also the like just waiting for the score to count up felt a little tedious. I did buy it. Well, it's also because it's in early access too, and I try to avoid early access. But no, Loot Plot looks very much like the kind of thing I would like, and I want to make sure to really give it a good try. The demo intrigued me, but I didn't love it, and I that's honestly makes me more interested in trying it. Part of it is the theming on Loot Plot too. Is that like I like a tactile theming. Like Balatro has a lot of different cards, but they are all cards that do like can exist in some way, shape, or form in the world. But Loot Plot is just like, here's random items and stuff. Or even like Nubby's here. It's like, here's a monstrosity, here's a book. So, I like just a little more theming. Just a little more... grounding, I suppose. So, Loot Plot is too abstract for you. Well, I think there's also a difference between abstract in terms of like, here's random nonsense, go, and abstract in terms of, here is shapes. And I much more fall in the like, I like shapes as opposed to like, here. It's because I think when I see an item that is like an actual item, like a monstrosity, like I want the mechanics to match with that. And I think that's hard when you have just a bunch of random items. So... yeah, it's when an item is an actual thing in the world. I want that item to make sense in the world here, which it vaguely does, but it doesn't match up as much as... It's a subtle difference. It's not necessarily an easy distinction between something like Balatro that has cards, and then all of those things could actually physically exist, and here's just blobs of meat. So... okay, but the items which pop pegs, or let's see, affect the peg popping. Yeah, and I was hoping to try a few different games, like just do a few rounds of maybe a couple games. Like I don't want to get like, I don't want to skim a bunch of things. I do want to get a little in depth, just to make sure that I'm getting through the extra gameplay loops and stuff too. So perks, which seem to affect the items. Or at least this item, this perk appears to affect this item. And then the items affect the pegs, and then Nubby affects the pegs. The pegs being kind of the lowest level thing. Oh, and then there is the... how do you determine how much gold you get per round? But I suppose there is the store that you can buy items at as well. And then store to buy items, and then the perks are given at winning a certain number of rounds. Okay. So now, how do I get Nubby to That was terrible, horrible, no good, very bad. The sun is going to explode. That was better. Hopefully the sun is not going to explode, but we'll see. A ton of feathers. And it's pulsing too. Peg fully popped pops the lowest peg twice, halves the highest peg, doubles the lowest peg 2 times. Pops a random peg. When this peg pops, it gives points twice. Oh, for every 10 pegs popped. And this is just every 1.5 seconds. And then highest peg popped. Oh, okay, so then the items, the way the items are laid out is the trigger for the item, and then the effect for the item. It's kind of how the items are listed. Yeah, okay, then they have a using color to determine whether it's an item or a perk or whatever. Actually, I kind of like the tree, so why not? Oh, and I have enough for more. Probably should do that for the economy of the game, possibly. Pops the lowest peg twice, and then this one halves the lowest peg. Halves the highest peg. Doubles the lowest peg 2 times. Pops the lowest peg twice. That's when 10 pegs are popped. 1 peg fully popped. Let's try that. I think I kind of want to go for fully popping pegs. That was pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay. This seems to be the only one that I could even have a chance at fully popping. Possibly. I guess the meat can also fully pop the pegs too. Okay, cool. Wow. Special round, sneaky snipers. Hover over this to see details. Okay, I should also make a note of the special rounds as well. Somewhere. Because I think that's also a cool idea. That is a good idea. Okay, and I forgot to do that. Make it nice and big. Oh, and I'm not in the way, am I? No, I'm not. And then I didn't read what that said because I was too busy moving things around on the stream. This build seems to be working okay. Yeah, it restocked twice even. Yeah, okay, I seem to be doing okay on fully popping pegs. Probably because of this, which halves the highest peg and doubles the lowest peg. And then the meat orbs, now that I'm surviving longer, seem to be working out okay. I want to go for that peg, but I think it's a little dangerous. So maybe we just go over this way. No, maybe we don't do that. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad. Okay, at least the 1 peg was fully popped. This is just awful. Can I squeeze you into here? Maybe. Is that a thing I can do? You just really dropped there, Nubby. It worked out, though. I did get it into where I wanted it to go. Ooh, a Grabatron. Play to win. I have 6 coins. It's just enough for this Grabatron. I might as well grab. A key? Some gold? Or a random item? Can I reach this key? That's not actually going to grab Otron. That it is. What is a key exactly? Key capsule evil. When opened, receive a suspicious key. Suspicious key. On the next shop turn, you will gain access to the black market. Ooh. What does that mean? Whoa, you got +1 suspicious key. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and it's just gonna hang out up there, I suppose. Well, now I gotta make it to the next shop so I can see what this this suspicious key does. Yeah, part of the well, what I'm doing here is really just I need to make sure that I hang around long enough to get all of the meat to pop. This has suddenly gone bad. Yeah, I kind of need, yeah, there we go. It's like pop some pegs, and then suddenly it goes completely. The last shot, that wasn't enough? That sure seemed like that was sure feeling good. Maybe I'm not understanding the build. It's looking iffy. Nope. And now the sun explodes. Ruh-roh. Interesting. I wanted to see what the key did. Okay, maybe we wait until the next ad break and try some loot plot. Because I am very curious about loot plot. It seems like something I should like. So, so sus you couldn't even use it. Yeah, it seems like it. That seemed like a bad roll there. That seemed cool. A sea cucumber. When Nubby dies, every empty peg space will give points equal to the total amount of pegs that have been popped this round. And a tardigrade. Oh hell yeah. 25% chance to double one random peg. I don't think I need doubling. I think I need quick, simple, easy little pegs. 10 pegs popped, pops a random peg. When the peg pops, it gives points twice. Or the happy seal, which is 8 pegs popped. 2 random pegs get smacked. When a peg is smacked, it counts as a peg halved trigger without actually having it. I'm sorry, that's too many words. I do like a tardigrade, but I don't think I'm having pegs. But if I bounce it down to where it is halved, then every empty peg space will get points equal to the total amount of pegs that have been popped this round. There's a good amount of empty peg spots, so we'll try that. Yeah, I'm definitely not fully understanding the strategy on this, but it's been a couple of rounds. That's really wow, that seemed crazy. Holy heck. Okay, I guess I just need to pop a couple of pegs and then the cucumber will do the rest of the work. I just need to pop a couple pegs and the cucumber will do the rest of the work. This board layout seems kind of mean. There we go. Okay, what was this again? This peg will pop the highest peg when popped. Will not pop itself. Will pop the highest peg when popped. Okay, which is not gonna pop you, but it will pop one of these 32s, which seems pretty good if I can get over to that. Was this sea cucumber like a rare thing or something? Because this seems pretty heckin' good. If I could pop a couple of pegs, it seems to be working out for me. And a peg fully popped, 40% chance to force trigger the item in slot 3. Oh, I was so close. I put it in slot 2. 15 pegs popped, force triggers all X pegs popped items. And this was not X pegged popped, this is Nubby dies. So I guess this just fully, or I could get some 4 gold. 40% chance to force trigger the item in slot 3. I don't have an item in slot 3, so maybe just the gold then? I know I could put an item in slot 3, but I don't have an item in slot 3 just yet. Oh, that 1, I would really like that to be popped, but that's okay. What are these? And then if I get 2 of them, do they stack or not? But Did I click the join jam, by the way? Please do if you didn't, so we get some numbers. And here I am getting too sucked into the game and not looking at the chat, but the chat is also looking a little slow. Because I am just sitting here playing the game. I'm kind of taking notes. Kind of, but down to jam. Well, okay, I did want to, there we go. There, down to jam to make sure that I have in fact joined the jam. Okay, but yeah, between games at least. And the ad break is popping up anyway. Okay. Oh, I am joined? Okay. I thought I did, because I was thinking about doing the theme submission, so. So for 5 pegs popped, gives plus 5 points for every item. Every time this item has triggered during this round. With a 1 in 50 chance to metamorphosize. So if you pop 5 pegs. So if you hit 5 pegs, then this triggers and has a 1 in 50 chance to metamorphosize. Well, I could get 2 of them, and then that'll metamorphosize a bunch, possibly. I don't need another item slot, I just need to use the stuff that I have. Ah, okay, so it is saying you can upgrade it to... Yeah, okay, so duplicates do let you upgrade. And then for a fully popped peg, pops the lowest peg twice. This was also working out? Oh, I'm 1 goal off from getting everything. I don't know that these are the best items anyway, but... I think I'm good on those. I did those last time. So we're just gonna stick with the... Nubby, can you... Ah! Okay, cool. The cucumber is doing all the work for me. Okay, and also ad break. And I will take the ad break. Can you sell or discard items purchased? You can. Because I think it was just right click to sell. I don't know if you have to be on the shop specifically to do that. But there was a option for selling items. But this also gives you only 7 items too. It's not like you have an unlimited amount of items. Okay, and then I was gonna take the ad break anyway. Okie dokie. Just kind of right at the top here. Do I want to? You can't skip these, can you? It's just to do that. Peg will pop the highest peg when popped, but will not pop itself. Oh, which will help get rid of these, I suppose. It's a bunch of 8s. I don't necessarily like that. I think I want to fully pop the pegs though, right? Yeah, now I'm getting a couple of these very large pegs. I feel like it might be kind of a pain to deal with, because I think I do want to be fully popping pegs though, right? Yeah, like that one didn't work out. It's kind of interesting that there is like... Yeah, it's because I need more empty spaces, and I don't entirely know how to. This is just going very poorly. This is... and then suddenly the sun explodes. Oh, come on, please. Please just pop a peg fully. No, pop multiple pegs fully? I'm not gonna get to that 4 and 4. That was the worst shot. Gee, thanks. Okay. Do I want to do one more round? Or do I want to try some loot plot? Okay, wait. Let's make sure. Let's answer the question of selling or discarding items. Yeah, okay, these first few rounds, I don't think you really need to worry about aim all that much. Yeah, okay. Oh, I lied. Or maybe you do. Yeah, it was freeze the shop, but then it was also, yeah, press right mouse button on your items in your inventory to sell them. So there was a selling items. So not a discard, but a sell. Friendly rock. Nubby hits a wall twice. Doubles 4 random pegs, whose number is less than 32. Why do I want that exactly? Doubles a random peg. It's because I want to be hitting the big pegs. That's really what it is. First peg pops, Nubby emits a burst of nuclear waste. Nuclear waste pops any pegs it touches. If Nubby isn't alive, a random peg will emit the burst. That's a lot. Maybe we just try the rock for now? Just to see. That other one likes slot 3. I doubt it'll do that again. But we'll try. So you need to hit a wall. Why did it light up like that? What's causing it to light up? Yeah, okay, now I'm playing too fast. Yeah, that's... Well, it's just kind of a dud of a setup anyway. Well, okay, this is... I was gonna say maybe better. Gee, thanks there, Nubby. That was just absolutely awful. Okay, I figured out about selling the... Okay, the tutorial, that's what this was. I unlocked the tutorial on the menu there. Neat little game. I think I will need to play it more to understand it better. Wow, that was a aggressive noise for quitting the game. It just did not want me to quit the game. Okay, let's do some loot plot, because I've played loot plot a little bit. I'm very curious about loot plot. I think the I like the pixel art. I like the idea. And it just seems a little complex with also a lot of random items. Well, okay, a lot of well, they do make synergies. It's just I don't know how the items are supposed to go together in any way, shape, or form. But thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the deep breaths. Well, okay, we'll do it in order. Also, I do think I want to sit down. It hasn't even been an hour. I don't know. It's because I want to sit down and stand up, sit down and stand up. It's like, nah, I should stand as much as possible because I sit so much at work. Okay, analytics consent. We use analytics to improve the game balance and to diagnose crashes. If you want to help us make the game better, please allow analytics. Thank you. Analytics status undecided. That's fine. That's good. No. I was like, I don't have it wishlisted because this is the early access version. I already have it. That's what it is. Well, I suppose I will do I gotta do more orange. Oh, and then we gotta update this too. Let's see. So loot plot is obviously the thing. Can I come up with a clever title to go on top of it? That's okay. That's loot plot. Interesting. And then, do I have a clever title? And also, why? Please pick up the game. I don't want to have. Okay, cool. It did pick up the game. But what clever title do I have for loot plot? Also, games seem quiet. Settings. We bumping it. Oh, it doesn't do the test sound effect? The test sound effect would be really nice to know how loud I just made it. But, okay. It definitely seems louder. We'll see if there's some kind of music or something. But I do need to update this with the... I don't have a clever title. I don't have a clever title for what I want to say about me playing loot plot. Plotting on my loot until she something. Does it go with the meme? Walmart on my something till I juice. I don't have a clever title. This is the thing that makes me. This does make my stream late sometimes. So when I'm just trying to come up with a title for the stream. Something about plotting. Okay, well, I spelled that wrong, so sure. Plooting. We're loot plotting. Plooting. I don't even know what that means, but we're gonna go with it. We're rolling with it. Where'd it go? Yeah, thinking for that long, it doesn't bring in viewers. That's why I'm like, okay, we'll just it is better to put something other than like Tuesday or Friday or you know, like Friday gaming or whatnot. Something personality based is important. To at least say that I'm putting in a modicum of effort. I think that was the other thing that was bouncing me off of loot plot a little bit. It's this like, this is pixel art. This is not pixel art. It's two different art styles. And I could forgive this, the the pixels that are not snapped to a grid, but that's okay. Okay, right click then move, scroll to zoom. Yeah, and I do want a reminder. I bumped up the volume and it still seems kind of quiet. Yeah, it seems both quiet on the stream and on my end. In loot plot, there are items and slots. Click on the egg item to move it. Yeah, and I'm going to just fully do the tutorial because I don't fully remember it. So, activates on pulse, earn points. This is the pulse button. It will trigger pulse on these eggs. Activates on pulse. Pulse, click pulse to pulse the items. Yeah, okay, I need to update the speed on that. I need that to be faster. Okay. Items can have different triggers. Being the reroll button. And the pulse button. Yeah, okay, reroll and pulse, yeah. Slots also have triggers. Activates on pulse. Yeah, okay. Bonus will earn extra points. Bonus is reset after 0. Activates on pulse, adds 10 for the bonus. Oh, and then it just adds to the rest of them. Okay. Wow, for all egg items? Dang. Bonus can also be negative. Watch out. Yay! Negative 32. I trashed it. Multiplier will multiply any points earned to reset to 1 after pulse. Items can have different properties. Notice the different visual indicators. Yeah, and I'll get used to that later. Slots can also have different properties. This item has rook 2 targeting like chess. If the target is wiggling, a slot will spawn. If it's a red cross, the target is invalid. Yeah. Yeah, this was one of those games. It's very complex and also not intuitive in a way of like, this is how physics works. This is how which is what I'm hoping to do with Plunk, is that like it's balls rolling around. Like that's a bit more obvious as to how things might trigger. Items can have different target shapes and different purposes. Adds +1 points to slot, triggers pulse on slot. Activates on pulse. Activates on pulse. Sets items target. Set items targets to rook 6. Earns 100 points, but it's also doomed and legendary and okay. Yeah, there was a lot of reading in this game too. It was like all of these have lots of reading to figure out what each item does. Finally, food. They activate instantly. Move them to create new slots. This one's basic slots. Oh, okay, so I probably should have moved the sausage over first. And then I could do that. Okay. 6 rounds to make 40 points, and you'll start with a shield. Activates on pulse. Pulses items, which are these items. Like a treasure bar, which after 10 activations, which it does not activate. It does activate on pulse, but this also pulses this. Also, is there settings I can mess with? Because it still seems like it's quiet. And we want much faster. Okay, it's cool that you could do that much. I don't really need it that much. Like 3 times is probably fine. Pulse triggering tiles in order is making the game less interesting for us from a game design perspective. I think that was also partially like, and that's why I'm speeding up the game a ton too, is because because every single tile here can all trigger, and then it just goes through each tile to trigger all of the tiles. It is like an interesting ordering thing, but it's also, I don't know, it's a very complex and like I think it's interesting in that like there's so much that you can do with a grid of things that all get pulse that trigger other things that all pulse and trigger, and then there's different types of... There's a ton here, and to me it's almost too much. So, yes, I am looking for more randomness in my game. Like I said, I like that input randomness. That is an interesting aspect to me. And this is a little less of that. It's a little more of a machine. But that is also why I wanted to try this too. So, yeah, exactly. Find solutions to the randomness the game provides you. Yeah, and I will definitely have to try Ballionaire to see how I feel about that too. If it kind of hits in between, like the Nubbies, and then something like this too. Yeah, okay, so that makes it a lot more playable for me to have just it sped up a lot. So, alright, 42 bucks. So, clones the item. Clones the slot the item is placed in. And then it clones it in that bishop placement. Triple dice activates on reroll, earns $2, limits money to 20. Spawns food items to choose from, must be placed in the air. And then it can be placed in the air, and it's common. Do I want some food items? I probably should think about it. Clone berries. Clones the slot the item is placed in, but not the item that is placed on the slot though, right? It's just these basic slots. Why do these basic slots have... Oh, when it activates on pulse, it earns $2. So these are just some extra things that earn dollars. Afraid the closest game to Plunk in terms of design is Biggle John. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, you're definitely not wrong. Okay, clones the slot the item is placed in. Okay, let's just put it on here. So I want to buy it for 13 bucks. And I want to try placing it here to see what that does. Yeah, okay, so it clones all of those. But then I also need stuff on these slots too. But then it says limits money to 20, and I'm like, my total money or the item money that is within that? I think I'm gonna skip on the food. Let's just pulse it and see. So yeah, I was gonna say I probably have a ton of money. Spawns a sell slot, which I have a sell slot here. I don't need a sell slot though. Activates on unlock, spawns a rare item. But I need to have a key, but I will buy it anyway. Just to have it, so I have to place it on a slot. I guess we put it on one of these money slots? Or I probably want an actual item that does stuff. Yeah, I think that's the other thing, is this pulse, all these different items, is also, like I said, it's a little unintuitive. To just like watch all of these different, because it's just a lot to hold in your head that each of these items gets pulsed, and then each of the items on top of these pulse, and then trigger these other things that pulse, and that's a lot. It's also very cool, but it is a lot. Biggle John. Very much reading that in Homer Simpson voice. Horse Duvers. Subtracts 10 bonus, but earns 150. And it costs $2 to activate. I am getting some amount of dollars because I copied all of these earns $2 points though. Well, these will pay for this. So that's fine. And then it's the subtracts and bonus, but I don't have bonus. I don't know exactly where bonus is. So this seems good because it earns 150 points. And it's only $6. It also seems to have some extra... Is that the cost $2 to activate thing? Okay, and I didn't need another cell slot, so I don't need the... Yeah, okay, so you're gonna eat a bunch of my money, but that's fine because I earn a bunch of money off of these that I copied. Activates on pulse and buy and subtracts 6 from the multiplier, but adds a +5 bonus. What? You subtract 6 and add 5? But that's not a... Okay, wait. The multiplier is different than the bonus. And the bonus I wanted on these? Oh, and this still has some activations until it spawns a treasure hunt item. And then this pulses the other items, which is also why I wanted it here. So it pulses this, so I lose even more money, but I earn more of these, which is why it's up at 300 out of that many points. And then... Why can't I move to the next level exactly? Feels like I should be able to because I'm at 300 out of 40, so... Interesting. And is this not an item? Sure looks like an item. Like I said, the design on this is super interesting, and I like the pixel art. It's just a matter of... It's too interesting. There's just so much going on. Activates on pulse and buy, and then subtracts a 6 multiplier, but adds a 5 bonus. I don't know exactly what that means. Meaning that's when you should buy it. Buy for -$3, so I add. So it does add $3. But now I have a +5 bonus and -5 multiplier. And then it subtracts 6 multiple. So I'm gonna have a massive negative multiplier, but a huge bonus. I don't know what that means exactly. So now I'm at -5,000, and then every time I pulse this, it's gonna be even less, right? What good is this? It's just an evil cat. Why was this in the store? What does this do? I just thought that adding the bonus might be helpful, but it just added -6 on the multiplier. That's insane. Also, is there a way to surface the bonus and the multiplier? Because it has like the stuff like the money here too. So I could do another golden sword. I need to get rid of that negative multiplier though. Earn points multiple times, once per target item. Earns 30 points. But it costs 2 to activate, but I'm making a bunch of money here, so that shouldn't be that bad. Earn points multiple times, once per target item. The target item being like the shield and stuff, which I don't know that I can line it up with the shield. That's okay. I don't want it to be touching the evil cat, so I guess we'll just trigger it off of the... Oh, I can swap it with the evil cat? I can't swap it with the evil cat. I could sell the evil cat. Oh, I could also sell the evil cat. That would make sense. Okay, and then we also throw you in range of the axe. Can I see what the axe range is again? Which I think it said it was night related. Yeah, okay, the night. So then that'll trigger those, which will also spend a bunch of money, but also give me a bunch of bonus points, which is not going to matter because my multiplier's been absolutely destroyed, so... Randomizes items, preserving rarity. So... Well, and was this a rare item or what? I don't know. I think I'm good. Let's not do that. I think I completely destroyed anything I had going for myself with that evil cat. Because, yeah, the multiplier is just absolute garbage. Wow, I have so much stuff here. Yeah, final round. That evil cat, I just trashed anything I had going on. it was like it was in the shop, and I figured maybe I'll try to understand the bonus versus the multiplier, and that was just... Okay, no, the multiplier was in fact multiplying everything and destroying all of it. Spawns glass slots, and I don't remember exactly what the glass slots do. Triggers unlock for slots and items, which I do want to do for that. And then what was you exactly? A null slot. This doesn't activate items. And then I don't have a second chest. Activates on pulse, gives items plus 3 points. Well, can I throw another item? I mean, this is set up fairly nice. Emerald sword. Subtracts a bonus. I don't have any bonus, meaning it'll just put it negative. Earns 20 points. Spawns an epic item to choose from. There's no way I'm salvaging this. Oh, can be unlocked with a key. I should have used this key on this if I had a slot to activate it. Oh, and then I can't activate these because there are no slots anyway. Okay. And then you... Well, this does give me an epic item, and it can be placed in the air, so I can just pick up an epic item. And those clouds, I think, will also disappear too. Book of Selling activates on pulse, converts slots into sell slot. It destroys after 20 activations. Sets items targets to night. Earns 100 points. This doesn't have an item target though, right? But I could get this to trigger that again. Convert slots into reroll slot. I don't know if I need that either. So we try this. This game is so much. There is so much going on. And I absolutely messed up with that evil cat. I was just kind of curious. Ta-da! That multiplier was just insane. Like, why was the evil cat even a thing there? Apparently not a thing to purchase, but... one ball, gain an extra $4 per turn, or a 6-ball reroll specialist. The tutorial cat provides a short tutorial. Yeah, I don't really need a tutorial, so just give me this. I don't really want to reroll a bunch either. There's so much stuff that... Why did that trigger there? I guess the shop was just taking a while to load in. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. It's so interesting because it's just feeling like a fighting game almost to me, where it's just there's so many options where you can layer these slots with whatever extra it didn't say abilities or something, but all of the slots can have modifications, all of the items can have modifications, and then all of the items placements can affect the pulsing of the other items, and the triggering of the items is based on the pulsing and the rerolls and the other items that are around. And there's a shop for buying and selling items that you can also affect with the placement of items, and there is just so much. Okay, spawn some uncommon items. If money is more than 40, it's not. Spawns a null slot with a food item. This is just $0. Okay. 50% chance to double your money. If that fails, set the money to 0. Activate instantly. A 50-50 to double my money. Do I purchase something and then try to double whatever is left? I think I want to purchase at least something. Spawns food items to choose from must be placed in the air. Spawns uncommon items to choose from must be placed in the air. I think I want to try having at least some uncommon items We'll place them in the air on the clouds so that I can pick them later. Then I will see if I can double my money by purchasing this for 0. By placing it in a basic slot, and I did. Okay, cool. Then I can also see about activates on pulse, earns $4, can be placed in the air. Well, then don't put it on the... Put it over in a corner somewhere. If it doesn't need to be placed on a slot, I want an actual item that needs a slot to be placed on there. When target item is pulsed, adds a bonus, earns 3 points. So this is to activate bonuses. Oh, wait. These are the 3 items that I got out of that sack. So then I can just place these in spots that work. So like this. No, okay. So it is buy for free. So it is one of these items. Yeah, okay. When picked, destroy nearby clouds. Yeah, okay. So that is how they're doing the shop thing. I did the golden axe last time. I don't have the money for that this time. So we'll try. I did the wooden shield last time. I want to try the blue net because that'll give me a positive bonus. So if I get the nasty cat or something, I will. And then this null slot. Destroy after 2 activations. So that'll go away eventually. I thought the clouds would disappear entirely, but that's okay. I do have some money to purchase some more items. This is how I'm relaxing at the end of a long week of work, is by completely frying my brain with all of the many permutations of item placement that all have their own modifications, that all have their own shops with their own modifications, that all pulse this long list of jeepers. And ads are starting here in a second anyway. This is a I need to sit down and think kind of game. So I think I will crank down the... Yeah, just write down the basic game flow on loot plot on your research paper. Well, that was the thing, is I was trying to figure out the different... It's just, because it's so complex, I was trying to figure out the game flow and stuff too. Okay, but I am just kind of waiting for the ads to happen here at this point. Yeah, some of this is the itemization of the items have just long lists of things that they do as well. Yeah, and I'm much more of a fan of Marvel Snap, where it's like, okay, here's this one word, not one word, but this one line, this like 8-word chunk of here's what this card does, and that's it. Okay, but it is ad time, and I'm going to sit. Okay, so now loot plot. Was it one word or two? Loot plot? Okay, the gameplay loop being the... So, pulse triggers items. Yeah, because it doesn't trigger the slots. It triggers the items in order. It triggers items in order to reach score goal. So, same kind of idea of items trigger items to reach a score goal, but in just so much more of a complex way to do that. But yeah, item order, adjacency, and proximity matters in item behaviors and scoring. Yeah. Oh, and I will finish this round of the game here too, just to see. I guess, yeah, and this does have a shop as well. Okay, there we go. Because, like, what did I write down for, like, nubbies? Upgrades was had a store to buy items. The upgrades is also a store to buy items. No, that's when you upgrade, you have a store to buy items. This is, you just have... These refresh every time. Yeah, reroll and pulse. So then this is each pulse. Okay, yeah, instead of upgrade, it's each pulse is can buy more items. I think some of this is the pacing of the game. Shop is the only input randomness, right? Well, and that's why I wanted to mess with it, because I would assume some of the items have some randomization to them as well, too. But I haven't gotten that far to see if that is the case. So that's why I wanted to give a couple rounds to loot plot here, too. Okay, and then the items affect the score, and the... yeah, items affect everything else. Which is also why it's such a complex web of things, too. So items affect everything else, and then the... That's probably a good thing to put on the, like, input randomness, too. So here the input randomness was the peg placement. And I don't actually know if the physics for nubbies is deterministic, in that, like, if you do the same shot on nubbies, if it'll give the same outcome exactly. Because there might be some output randomness on the ball in nubbies as well. And then the input randomness here is... Yeah, because even your starting item... Oh, this does have a starting item, too. Because I know, like, Balatro, you have your, like, starting deck. I don't think Nubbies gave you, like, a starting item. So, like, a starting item. And then this, I guess the start, you can select an item. And then for nubbies, there was start. It was at least. Did it have an option for? It didn't have an option for like a starting item. Like none, I suppose. Oh my god. No, apparently I just cannot type. This is why I look at my hands so much, because even when I don't, it just doesn't happen. Okay, and then the question being the item order, adjacency, proximity matters in item behaviors and scoring. Yeah, item affects everything else in terms of the order and position. Oh, and the type of the item as well. Yeah, it's one of those, like, I want to do all of that kind of stuff for Plunk as well, but just not in such an overwhelming form. Yeah, the game that I want to point to as a game that does a little bit of everything, but not make it overwhelming, is Goodnack, of which I've only really gotten to play the once, but which, you know, not even a video game or anything, but could do yeah, it's like I just want an image of the game in action. I don't really want to do the learn how to play. Just show the game. Yeah, there we go. I'm surprised there's not like a straight, like, top-down view of the game. But the cards have powers from 1 to 3 is how much power they have. They have the 1 symbol for the type, and then they have the you know, the position on a 3x3 board. So it's like the positioning is just 9 squares. The numbering goes from 1 to 4, because there are a couple like really big characters that are 4. But yeah, the numbering for the power of the character goes from 1 to 4. The positions are 9 total, and then the type is just the 4 different types. Or no, I guess the names of the characters do matter, but there's not a ton. But yeah, this is the kind of level I want to hit, is that it has all of these items, but it does not have, you know, like, however many spaces this is that triggers each of these different items. Okay, did I finish writing out the stuff on here to compare it to Nubby's and stuff? Yeah, okay, and the winning rounds here, I don't think I think the number just goes up, right? I don't think it actually gives you like a bonus or anything, which is a bit of a bummer. I do have to remember that this is still in early access too. Oh, and then the input randomness here was the other thing to write down. Was just the shop, as can be seen. Although, I do want to check and make sure that some of the items don't have randomness. And thank you for the hydrate. While you have fun being right back, I suppose. Well, that does give me an opportunity to try to finish this run, or to get a little farther. Because that is the question, is, are there items that also do some kind of input randomness? Or output randomness, or... Well, no, I guess the items... Because it's the slot here gives you a random item, but then the items also spawn other random items, like the food and stuff here, too. It spawns a null slot with a food item. It also earns 30 points. Yeah, okay. And this floaty being its modifier, food being its type, and then common being its rarity. And then it also costs $6. And it is on a food shop slot. Well, it seems like a good buy to just have. Spawns a null slot with a food item. Where? Did it spawn itself again? Did it just happen to spawn itself again, or what? Spawns a null slot with a food item, or can be placed in the air, activated instantly. But these null slots, like this one's doomed and will be destroyed after 2 activations. This null slot just doesn't activate items, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, that was it happening. Okay, when I bought it, it also made a null slot. And then the null slot does not activate items, so I need to also move this sausage, which spawns basic slots vertically. But it also needs to be placed somewhere, but I can place it here on this. But that doesn't activate items, so I don't want to do that. And then I don't want to, it's not a thing that triggers a bunch. So, there is not a good place to put this where I get the maximum 2 spaces out of it. So instead we just place it here and get a single space. Kind of a bummer. Okay. Iron ornament, which activates on pulse if the money is more than 440 permanently, they gain 8 points. Okay, well then I just need to get my money over 40 at some point, and then here, when a target item is pulsed, adds a bonus and then earns 3 points. Okay, this at least adds some amount of points at it. It's 15 at least. And then do I also do that food item? I think I also kind of want to do the food item. We're going to go just fully with whatever this shop decides to give me. So let me buy you, and then there's no good spot to put these food items. They're just going to hang out here, I suppose. Okay. So, sniper berries spawn basic slots and can be placed in the air. Well, that's nice, and it's epic. Glass tube gives you just a whole bunch of glass slots, and the glass slots, I think, break. And then randomizes items shape. What does that even mean? Shape of the item is also an important thing. Okay, what is the last thing there? Some of these have like an on. Oh, king. That is the shape of the way that it's triggering things. So this is the shape being up 1. Randomizes the shapes. Randomizes the item shape of the item above it, is what this is saying. Okay, this epic here seems like the best. It's floaty, and it's food that can be activated instantly, and it spawns basic slots in an on shape. I don't know what an on shape is. So that's just on its position here. So, like that. Why was that an epic item? It just gave me a single basic slot? That was an epic item, and it gave me a single basic slot. Okay. I somehow have 60 points now, too. Or did I start at 60 points? I doubt I started at 60 points. Okay, so +1 bonus, which this got the bonus or did not get the bonus? Yes or no? And now I have 5 items to look at in the shop every time. And I earned just enough money to get all of the items. Okay, so of the 5 items, there's also multiple that give me 3 items that I can choose one of 3. This is too much. It's fun that there is so many options, but it's too much. It's just straight up too much. Yeah, something like Backpack Hero, I think, is the is a good balance on the, like, here's a grid, and here's an item that triggers another item in a grid, without being layers upon layers upon layers. Activates on reroll, gives items /slots +3 points. So these also get that, but it's the item to the left. And it only activates on reroll, not on anything else. So I guess if I reroll a bunch, which I haven't been doing, I guess I've only triggered it once. Oh, and I'm already at 80 out of 60, so I'm immediately going to be level 1. But then this simple next level button I can't click because I still haven't figured that out. I'm having fun completely breaking my brain in half trying to understand this. But it's just, here's a full hour of me explaining how I'm understanding round 1 of this game. Okay, spawns dirt slots. Am I having fun though? What is it? Is it Thor? The meme of the are you really? Really though? I think that's what it is. It's the caption on there. It's like, really though? Well, it's because it seems like there is a lot of opportunity for. Okay, don't give me these sacks of items that have all these other items inside of them. It's just too much. Yeah, and then dirt slots are also a different kind of slot that is not a basic slot. That is probably good for food items and, you know, growing food items if I want to make this into some kind of farm, because it's something about a plot or something. Yeah, and then spawns a food shop slot. It's like, no, I don't need yet another option for an item. Because all of these items also spawn 3 other items. That's probably enough. I don't need... Yeah, spawns food items to choose from. And then spawns uncommon items to choose from. Can you just give me the uncommon item? I like the music though. I do like the music. Oh my goodness, why did that just flash a bunch of times? Did that happen on the stream too? Or did it just happen on my end? Why is it doing that? That looks like it's... Okay, so I lied. We're gonna just do that if it's gonna happen to you guys too. Okay. Still happening often? It looks like the whole thing lagged out. Is my computer lagging out now? Was it lagging earlier? I want to finish a round, especially since it was working okay. Was the stream lagging earlier? It does look like it's lagging now. It just seemed to refresh and... what is going on? Oh, is there a save? Actually, that's a good question to ask. Save/quit. Okay. Is it running any better? Okay, it is lagging now and it wasn't earlier. Okay, so that is... So now let's see if I pull the game up again. It's got to be a fair bit to serialize to save the many different items and things too. Okay, continue this run with this unknown perk, and now that's working. Now, if I do that again, does the screen explode? The stream appears to be running okay. The screen did not explode. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why it did that. That's kind of crazy. Okay, and it didn't save the fact that I did that. Okay, well then let's do an uncommon sack of items. I don't even have like a place to put the items to. And then I get a big food sack. It's a sack that gives me a sack. I just want items that I can actually do stuff with. Coins earns 8 and earns 5 cents. Or I can get a boomerang, which earns +1 points 5 times. So +1 points to this, or +1 points to, because it doesn't say on or anything either. And then that's, so it is plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5? Seems like a complicated way to say. Okay. And then I keep wanting to go for like the easy item, but I'm like, no, let's try to understand what the heck this is doing. And then I need everything to be inside of this range for this to trigger, and then this is just if I have 40 or more money, which I need to get 40 or more money, meaning I need to stop buying items, and I have enough item score to be good on that. Okay, so why can't this let me go to the next level, though, if I have enough score to go to the next level? It feels like I should just, Okay, so the evil cat has a -6 multiplier, but adds a 5 bonus. What is this good for? It gives you $3, but then gives you an absolutely massive multiplier, like -6 multiplier. And then the bonus doesn't matter if the multiplier is so bad. That's just a confusing item. Or at least I have not fully understood why that is a thing that's in the shop as opposed to a thing that just like curses you. Okay, activates on reroll, of which I did not pick up a reroll item. These are all activating on pulse, of which I want to just stick with on pulse for now. A boomerang will probably go well with another boomerang. Spawns basic slots in a bishop 1 area, which I could use some more slots, I suppose, despite the fact that I haven't fully filled up that. Maybe I don't need to worry about slots. Give target item / slot plus 5 points. Okay, and it also does it for the slots too, and it's $5. That seems pretty good. Was it on buy or was it on? I was gonna say, I thought it was on here. Oh, so now this activates on pulse and earns 5. Okay, so now these are also earning 5. Yeah, see, and then this limits money to 20, but I need to get it up over 4, unless it's 20 per round or roll or whatnot. Then another basic boomerang on this, I suppose, because then that'll be within that range. Okay. Yeah, and then I seem to have enough points, and yet I can't go to the next round. So thanks. A cheese slice. 50% chance to destroy the slot, 40% chance to earn $8, or 10% chance to spawn a key. All of these are good for me, because I do not need another food slot, because this is too many items. So, this is a no-brainer. Oh, it destroys this slot. And then this is the item does not activate. Well, then I guess just destroy this one. So now I have a key, which works well for if I purchase a chest. Then I can unlock it with the key here. Oh, and then if I get another chest, I don't happen to have another chest, do I? Oh, it just automatically does that. Okay. Red net. When a target item is pulsed, adds a multiplier. Okay. Well, then let's see. Again, overlap all of these. So then here, a gold bar after 10 activation earns $10. It also earns 8 points on pulse. So this seems like a good thing to have just in general. And then that's not a sack. I'm not messing with the sacks. No sacks right now. That's and now I have decimal points. Who's doing the decimal points? Oh, the multiplier. The multiplier item is also doing the decimals. And then you give me the evil cat again. You say, okay, you really want that evil cat. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want the evil cat. That did not help me. It gives a -6 multiplier. That's not a good thing. Okay, doomed clone berries. Clones the slot the item is placed in and gives the new slots in doomed. that's gonna clone everything in Queen 2. But then makes it all doomed. Again, I don't know. It seems like a very... It's going to take your entire board and turn it into... You have 2 turns to make the score. And then when you go to the next round, it'll destroy... I guess if you have an absolutely massive board and you can destroy like a corner of it or something, that would be good. But spawns basic slots. If I had one more... If I had this and not this, then that would be super useful, but I guess it's kind of useful. It doesn't hurt anything. That's kind of the item selection that I'm going with right now, is just, this does not hurt me. Let's do that. A chest. Why not? They seem to be nice about giving you keys. So just having a key to unlock a thing there. Okay, now that I'm getting a little more used to how stuff works, hopefully. It's just so many options every time. It's not a choose 3. It's choose from 5 to then choose 3. Which then that means you're choosing 15 every round. Choose one of 15 is a lot. Doomed 8 slots. I think I'm good. 50% chance to double your money. If it fails, it's at 0. I need to get it up to 40 to hit this, though. Would be nice. And this will give me money. Makes item target itself. The pie makes item target itself. So then can I move this to here and then have the pie target this? Because it's up 1. So buy. And then you target that. So now this is targeting itself for a multiplier. When a target item is pulsed. So now that's also getting targeted. I don't know if that helped me at all. But it didn't hurt me. That's where I'm at right now. As long as it doesn't hurt me. And then, was there anything that I wanted to re-roll? No, everything is on pulse. So I don't need to re-roll. So that's fine. There's so many sack items. Like, that's literally saying, pick one of 15 options. I mean, you're still at level 1 whining about options. No, that's why I'm whining, though, is because it's on level 1, and you're asking the player to choose one of 15 items on level 1. That's a lot of items to pick from for somebody who is just starting the game. So, activates on pulse, set bonus to 6. It just pins it at 6 bonus. That's fine. See, that's a quick, easy item. That's what I'm looking for right now, because everything else is a bit much. Yeah, that doesn't need to be under a multiplier, because yeah, target item is pulsed. This could kind of sit wherever. Actually, wait, it could sit on a... Yeah, because this is not activating items. This is not getting activated anyway, so chest could probably sit on null spaces, because they're not super necessary. Oh, this is doomed here. Could let me put a spot next to the shop, which I don't necessarily need. Yeah. No, this doesn't activate items. So these are just slots that I just have to eventually wait for them to ungoof themselves. Yeah, the fact that it also dooms all of those slots too, kind of wherever you place it, it's just gonna doom everything around it. It just does not seem like a good early game item. And it's giving me these doomed berries and stuff too. So, and I don't know if a lot of this is like just early access stuff, and that's the items that it just happens to have rolled recently, and that's what it's picking, or if this is just kind of what it's set up with so far. Okay, and then I barely even have a space to the 3 items here. This is also doomed a bunch of slots. Spawns null slots, which earns, and then earns 25 points. Doubles money, maximum of 25. Yes. Just please double my money, despite the fact that I have no money to double. Really. Okay, and I don't need to reroll just to get me to the next round. Hopefully I can figure out level 1 at least. That's the goal, is to figure out level 1 at least. Is this a... because it was covering up this part here, I was like, is it a dildo? No, it's a bone. Hint, put this item in a cell slot. Activates on destroyed, earns 50 points. You see, that's what the evil cat need. And I don't know if it did in fact have a thing that said, here's how you use the evil cat. But it definitely, if it doesn't, it needs a hint. If it does, I just did not see it. Okay, and that costs 0 money. So let's just sell this item so that it is destroyed. And then we purchase another chest, of which I can put it on this null, so it's also not getting in the way if I ever get some items that I want to use. And then this gives me some items as well, like a hammer or a hammer or a hammer. Okay. Bonus is negative, earns 3 times multiplier. The bonus is positive, right? Where do I see the bonus is also the question. If bonus is negative, earn 4 times points. If bonus is negative, earn 3. Activates on reroll. Activates on pulse. But then if the bonus is positive, it doesn't matter. So that seems like it's not bad. Seems like it's fine to use this. Activates 3 times and then it disappears, or it does that 3 times? That just seems like you're... What? It's activating 3 times. 3... on pulse? Okay, and then maybe some of these sausages to expand the space a little bit. Not that I need to, but I can. I knew this one was going to take me a while to feel out, to actually see how I feel about it and how it's working. And what are you going to do? Okay, the bonus is plus 11. And then the bonus is negative. So the bonus is not negative. It's not going to be negative for a while. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, just bugger off with the ads. I'm just, we're just gonna push through. Ain't nobody watching me get confused by this anyway. Activate and pulse. Earn points multiple times, once per target item. And that's in that knight shape. Although this is not getting... Oh, it does give me 15 points, though. Once per target item. There are some items, right? Rocks. Put this on a cell slot. Activates on destroyed. Wait, the cell slot did not seem to... How do I see this cell slot? This was the cell slot, though, right? It has to be the cell slot, but that didn't sell the item? I didn't see how the cell worked. I need to look at that if I could... Oh, I guess I can't. Okay. Shuffle target shapes between items. Again, I don't know what that means. And then I can't sell because I got something on the cell right now. So then this... Yes, I'm feeling a bit... Well, okay, I'm actually over the hump. I'm over the hump into slightly less confused. But like I said, it's because each of the 15 items... Well, I guess it's not a full 15, but still. Between 5 and 15 items, each of them has different activations that also have different effects on the different score, the bonus, and the multiplier. And then the different items also are triggered by other different items on the board, so then that's like these and this. So I also need to worry about the placement of this item. And then the tiles also affect the item, as in these are not triggering anything with these chests, but that doesn't matter because they're not open. So I'm a little less confused, but there's so much going on. Despite the fact that it, you know, it's just a bunch of icons. So what's overwhelming you about it is that you need to read and react nonstop. Like in Replicate, you play the card game and start reading during the shop phase. In Loot Plot, it's always the shop phase. Yes. No, that is exactly what it is. Because it re-rolls the shop every time, it's always the shop phase. So I'm always having to readjust my strategy every single turn. Which, if you want to do that, if that is your kind of thing, then this game is interesting to you. But I think... Well, and not only is it always the shop phase, but it's also a lot of items in the shop phase. Because even when it is just 3 items, it could be sacks that also roll another 3 items. So on most... Because I think it gives you a sack pretty commonly. So that means typically, even if these food slot items were gone, that means every time you press the button, you have 6 new options to evaluate that also affect all of these other different things too. So similar to Loop Walker in a sense, right? Yeah, a little bit. And like I said, that's why I was a little had just a tad bit of that analysis paralysis, because of the fact that like every time it stopped on a shop, well, okay, now I can reconfigure my... I don't actually know how many tiles there were, but, you know, if it's up over, like, 10, then that's immediately, like, you're asking somebody to reevaluate 10 options on a fairly frequent basis. Now, you could say, like, there's not going to be that many changes between each round, but that doesn't necessarily negate the fact that you'll want to possibly, like, if you have somebody who min-maxes, then they will feel like, okay, I need to reevaluate everything every time that happens. Yeah, this definitely shows why the shop phase is like a phase and not like in always. Jerem was playing today and we discussed about a feature like auto placement. Yeah, if I were to... fix is not the word, but if I were to try to lessen the cognitive load here, it would be... I mean, because they do start with only, like, 9 plots here, but it's this shop needs to be a lot less frequent. It's like, there's a reason why you don't have it... Well, and it's because it also has the sacks. I think the sacks is also another problem, because like I said, that's 6. Anywhere between 3 and 9 options to evaluate. Because you can also buy everything every turn too, pretty much. Yeah, this definitely says why a lot of games do pick one of 3, is because it gives you options without overloading you with, here's an entire cereal aisle full of every single sugary sweet cereal. And you say, oh, I want to eat them all, and then get very sick. is what's happening here. Okay, and then did I want any of these? Possibly. Let's try to hit that kind of shape and stuff too. It's like, it's not... Yeah, then you get the point of like, okay, well, it's... I guess we'll try to hit some stuff. I guess I could hit the bone here too. Yeah, I could technically hit the bone and this as well, but this doesn't activate because it's on a null slot. But then this item is activating that item. once per target item. But this isn't getting activated, so it actually isn't going to do anything. It auto places the valuable tiles in front of you, then you can reorganize. Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, Backpack Hero, I think also, because it has the grid placement roguelike stuff, but it also does the pick one of 3 items when you win a thing. And then you don't even need to worry about a shop necessarily, and then the shop does have more items. Yeah, and then I never think about re-rolling either, because it's... Yeah, there's a lot. Like, I just don't want to then evaluate yet another set of that many options. Yeah, I suppose this is on easy. Okay, so this is only when you reach the end of the level. It's not... Okay, so it's not when you hit the full bonus? That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, that's what I was a little disappointed with too, is that you don't get anything except a bigger number when you hit the end of the round. There's no extra reward. And here I am complaining about having too many rewards, but at least here, that feels like you want something for your victory, as opposed to here I can re-roll the shop again. Yeah, there's not a ton of... At least I keep rolling into items that are not easy. Just here's a point bonus, here's a multiplier bonus, here is a... Because I know that something good they do with Balatro is the... Yeah, that's why you didn't reset the total score in Loop Walker. And I actually don't think the resetting the score is the issue. I think it's the rewarding... Like, the only thing that went up was the level 2. It's just the number went up on level 2, as opposed to, like, here is some kind of items or victory or something. Would be nice. Some kind of signifier that I am on the next level beyond just the number went up. Yeah, because I know that I was talking to the friend that does a bunch of incremental games, and he was saying that for incremental games, to have a good incremental is that every number that goes up is reflected in something actually visual too, which he complimented on my idle dice roller game, was that when I hit the, like, you upgrade your die, it actually upgrades the number on the face of the die, and then, like, when you upgrade how many die you have, you visually see there's more dice on screen. So... But I think that's kind of what this is running into as well, is that, like, it's just the number is the only thing that changed. I also don't... I don't know what this clock is, too. Yeah, unless you choose from 3 relics when you level up. Yeah. Yeah, that's the psychology of it. It's just that, like, you did the right thing. You got the score higher, so now here is a reward for doing so. Here is a change that is... Because right now, this feels like... I lost. I lost my score. Is really what this feels like. Because I don't care as much about the level. Or at least there's not, like, it doesn't feel different. It's also the thing. I don't know if the background color changed. But that also isn't super noticeable. I feel like I'm doing a game design review here, but this is in early access. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be harsh, but I do want to provide feedback. Despite the fact that I would also need to send it somewhere. And I don't know that I would do that. Okay, I'm kind of... Yeah, so now I'm getting a little more handle on it in terms of, okay, I'm seeing some of the same items. You know what? I could just... This never sold. What is that? Okay, so cancel. No. So place it here. Activates on pulse. Reduce item price by half and earn money equal to the price. Then destroy the item. Activates on destroyed. Earns 5. It needs to be destroyed 5 times, though? This is destroy 5 of 5. Meaning I just canceled. Okay, wait, so let's try that. 4 of 5. That is not intuitive. Okay, it needed to be destroyed 5 times. Also, the fact that you can't automatically go to the next level, especially because this resets. Because now there's literally no reason for me to play the game beyond mash the button. And also, I lied. This is still not fast enough. Especially if I just want... If I'm just trying to skip to the next level anyway. Yeah, because it's on easy, so it's like I don't necessarily... Yeah, and these are a lot of, like... I've seen similar items and stuff, too. Oh, apparently... The gold that got destroyed? Why did the gold disappear? Oh, I think it was after that many activations. It disappears or destroys itself? Okay, but again, I don't need to care. I reached the score goal. It should just skip me to the end of the level. I watched a person where they had it on 16 times, but scoring took 24 minutes to complete. Yeah, okay. If you have a grid of just so many items that is triggering a ton. Yeah, because each of these is still triggering. Wow, that's 16 times speed. It took 24 minutes to complete. I think that's showing the interesting like interconnection between every single item and stuff, but also showing that that is overwhelming. Yeah, I think there's... You can get away with a very, very simple game and have people be excited. That's what incremental games are. That's like somebody doing Cow Clicker, where they're like, you literally just click on the cow. We're making fun of Farmville, and yet people enjoy the heck out of that. Or like Cookie Clicker. You just click on the cookie. And that is still super interesting for a lot of people. What happens is it shows a text that you could skip it pressing a button. But they wanted to watch it, I don't know why. Well, I know like Balatro does that too. Where you watch it do just like the flame thing picks up and stuff. I guess, yeah, if they were trying to get it so that it was everything triggered everything else, which triggered everything else, which triggered everything else, that yeah. 24 minutes is a whole heck of a long time though. That's a lot of time to be waiting for the thing there. Oh, and then everything reset, so I didn't even get to a 5th round to destroy this? I had to do 6 rounds to do that though, right? Okay, so how badly am I score-wise? Okay, maybe I do need to actually think about upgrading my stuff here. Subtracts a bonus. Okay, I don't know what the bonus is either. I don't know where that's at. Or I guess the bonus and the multiplier are not added until you actually start the round. Yeah, I know this is the tempting thing to do with something like Plunk, is to say, oh, okay, well this pipe, every time a ball comes out of it, it turns 90 degrees and then shoots a ball in a different direction, and then because that ball is some other type of ball, it changes the color of the pipe, and then yeah, there's definitely options to do that, but this is also showing to me as to why you don't want to have everything trigger everything else all the time. Because it's an absolute heck ton of things to min-max. And then some of this boils down to, like, I just need a key. I just need this to roll me a key, is all I need. Key. And then, yeah, and then this sack spawned another sack. Well, okay, these are just basic gold bars. It feels like I should take the epic, right? Which gives me an iron greatsword, comes with a 3 times a multiplier. Comes with a 15 times multiplier. Costs $2 to activate, which I don't have those gold activations like the tutorial level. This item targets at night. That was not super helpful. And this is just activate on pulse. And that subtracts bonus, so I don't want that. And then this is not getting destroyed. It told me a hint test to put this on here to try to destroy it. Yeah, it's not destroying. More boomerangs? Only works if money exceeds $40. Only works if money exceeds $40. This one was if money is more than 40. Permanently gain 8 points. Then it's still, yeah, I have a ton of money because I'm not actually adding any items because I have enough. Well, and I guess if these other things are, yeah, I have enough money, might as well. More boomerangs, it's not a strategy either. Yeah, there's less of an obvious, like, and I know that's why a lot of things like magic do the, like, elves get a bonus, or zombies get a bonus, and then they have a bunch of cards that are tagged as zombie, because that does give you a build, like, idea. It's like, okay, I just want to put a bunch of zombies in my deck, I just want to put a bunch of angels in my deck. That this also does not have that kind of... It doesn't point you in a direction to take a strategy either. Which I think is helpful for doing a build in a roguelike and stuff. It's not necessary. A lot of games can get away without it, but I think it's a nice thing to have to do. Oh, so that does let me skip. Okay. What level am I trying to get to? Is there an end, or am I just trying to up the score a ton? This is a game that I would be very interested to see how it evolves. What is this? It just doesn't tell me what this clock is. It's just that's a wall that you can't mess with. Kind of odd. It makes an item target itself. I think I'm good. Well, and this feels a little bit like it needs some of that design constraint of, like, these items need to exist in some kind of world or something too. Because so many of these items are just, here's swords and pies and ornaments and boomerangs. I guess some of them are weapons, but a net is not really a weapon either. And then there's, like, the evil cats and stuff, too. There's kind of too many ideas happening here. Which is why, like, with Plunk, I do want to ground it in the idea of, like, this is a physical, like, pool board kind of thing. Maybe not necessarily a pool roguelike. Oh, man, there's Drop Pockets that came out, too. I could be playing Drop Pockets right now. Because that one does interest me. Shoot. I should have looked at Drop Pockets there, too. Yeah, the sacks on sacks are one of those things, if, like, it just gets scary, because then that's... Oh, it's a big food sack, so that's even more. Yeah, I think this is relying a little too much on the sacks on sacks, too. Which just gives you these, like, absolutely insane... hat on a hat on a hat here. Sleep gods are here to take you. Well, that's good. Oh, and I guess it is pretty close to 8:30. Man, it's a quick evening. It's like, dang, I don't feel like I did a ton. I poked at Nubbies and then got very sucked into trying to wrap my brain around this, and I think I kind of have to then say there's a reason why it's an early access. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Yeah, because even when I don't necessarily even need the points, I'm still kind of eyeballing it, as in, like, this never did get destroyed. I'm like, how does this bone keep regenerating? Added a clarification field under the theme suggestions. Oh man, I didn't do that. I said I was gonna do that in between games, and then I got sucked into this. Okay, now we're quitting. I know you are sleeping, so I guess you could see the theme later, or yeah, because I do want to think about it a little bit in terms of like I don't know that I want to throw these. That was just tempting. It's very tempting to oh, what I think about the clarification? I think the clarification is fantastic because of the stuff like this where it's like if you put wind and then mean winding, then the clarification does allow you to say, oh, you could put like this, the theme could be wind or winding or whatnot. So I do think having some kind of clarification, because that also gives you, like when you're also revealing the theme, that also gives you an idea of here's ways that you could take the theme too. And when somebody submits a theme, if they have some extra clarifications, that does also bring people to their side to say, yeah, we were worried some people would be irritated by something like this. At least for me, I'm excited to say not only here is my theme, but also here's why it's a good theme. That's basically what this is. Yeah, exactly. It's why do you think this is a good theme? So I think that's nice. Please make sure you submit something good. Throw Pagorli in there again. And say it's just tradition. Pagorli has to be in the theme suggestions every year, every jam. Pagorli is banned. I would assume like streamers' names are probably. I don't know about banned, but yeah, we warn the necessary people not to enter Pagorli and Brainoid. I had Adagon ban Pagorli as a submission. Okay, so full on said no, we're not doing streamer names and stuff, which I think is good. I think if you're doing yeah, okay, block, not a ban. But yeah, I think if you're doing a jam that is themed around a certain person, that's entirely fine. But this is themed around being down to jam, which is not around a certain person. Yeah, I kind of wanted to look up the like words that are also like words that are nouns and verbs, because I think those come out with some fairly good themes. Because that's exactly what trained was. I thought that was wow, that's 472 words that are both a noun and a verb. Access, dump, mail, shelter. Yeah, that my coworker did mention shelter, but then I was like, it's probably a little too specific. Yeah, train worked out well because it was both. Yeah, no, feel free to go to sleep there, Brainoid. Especially if you still are fighting with having a hard time sleeping. Yeah, cause you run the Down to Jam site, you'll see whatever themes I throw in there. I'm very tempted to do Plunk as a theme. I don't know if people know the word super well, but I don't know if it would be a good theme, but yeah, no, feel free to fade away and go to bed and sleep and stuff. You're reminding me that I should probably think about doing the same, especially since I didn't sleep super well last night. That's a lot of different words that are... Yeah, exactly. Explain it in the clarification so people know about it. Yep, that's why it's there, and that's also why I think it's Yeah, some of these I think are fun in terms of the idea of duck as both the animal and also the idea of ducking, but I think that's also a little too specific to design. That I think is a little too vague for a theme there too. Insult. That's kind of fun. Okay, wait, let's... I don't know if that's a great one, but... Because it could be like the game is in and of itself an insult to somebody. That's kind of mean. Or at least that could be in the direction of making a mean game. I don't know that that's maybe not necessarily. Yeah, I could look at phrases and stuff too. I think it's just kind of fun to look at some of these that are both that are two in one. Okay, yeah, let's just start at the top here. Access dump. Dump's kind of a fun idea. Ache, dust, make, shock. Shock's kind of fun. Echo. I feel like Echo was a Let 'em Dare theme. Possibly. Put gnome. Put gnome in the theme every time. Why it's a good theme? 'Cause gnomes, man. Duh. Measure. Kind of fun. Do I have any, like, major, like, messages that I would want to say that it could also be, like, a jam theme or something, too? Like, do I have, like, a... Because some of this is, like, could I inspire somebody to make a game that I want to see in the world? That is the question. Can I come up with a theme that could possibly point somebody at an idea that I want to see? It's not a good way to go about making a theme, but... Yeah, they could just write out the exact... Like, I want to see this kind of game. Make this game. Make this game, please. Where's my... list? Yeah, I was gonna say my game idea journal. Did I have anything here? I guess like that's Ascend or like Ascension or something, but I think there's been enough that are like, because I think Below was also a theme for Let 'em Dare or something. Distortion. It's not a bad idea. Because that could be like kind of like perspectives or having people play with whatchamacallit. I could have music. I just realized there's not even music or anything. I'm just mumbling into a microphone. What do I want to listen to right at the end of the... Because I am just going to do a theme and then kind of call it quits and pass out. Yeah, I was going to say, give me something chill. What was this one again? Hopefully this is some nice chill. Oh. I don't remember what this is or how I found this. But... Oh wait, let's go back to my game idea journal. Is there any candy? I think candy's actually not a bad one, because you know something like eye candy? and like make something look really pretty. I kind of like that idea a lot. And then it could be like a Candy World. It's like, I think Candyland is an interesting setting for a game, and I don't think it's been used much. I know Wreck-It Ralph did a Candyland thing, but Planetoid, I've tried a few different times to do a Planetoid for a game that takes place on a Planetoid, and it just has never worked out. Shred? Shred's kind of fun, because that could be like shredding a guitar, that could be like shredding the slopes, that could be like chopping paper into tiny little pieces. Goblins. Just goblins straight up as a theme. Gobos. Gotta love them cute little guys. Yeah, I think it's nice to have it as like a verb and stuff too. I don't know that distortion was a verb necessarily, but wriggle? I guess that's kind of like a jiggle bone. Which there was the jiggle jam, so. Is there a word for like moving carefully? I feel like there is. I don't know if that would be a good jam theme or something, but. Well, I got a couple. Like, I think Shred is pretty good. Candy's not bad. I think, cause I'm kind of thinking like eye candy and other stuff, but.
Yeah, pursuit of happiness. Destiny's blurry, but it's clear my roots are evident. I cruise to Neverland.
I put this under chill. I guess this is a bit more hip hop, but it's a chill hip hop, I suppose.
Pack my stuff and see the globe until I overdose. Fulfill my dreams, achieve my goals, going up some more. I had a vision, since methods, and I made a decision.
Mug, I think that's kind of okay.
Meaning no love for the suit and tie. Rather get some aside, unless I get married in front of the crucified. We move around, we in a room full of lies. Elders call the world, but they don't ask the youth for advice. So tell me how I'm supposed to relate.
Bomb?
Tell me how I'm supposed to relate when my standards different.
A bunch of Bomberman things. I would love to see more Bomberman games. Frog. Do a bunch of Frogger.
This word is boring, I failed the admission. So I went and did my own like it's new edition. Yeah.
I feel like Tinker is a theme. I also feel like it's a theme I've heard or seen or something too. Pump. B. Might come up with like some suspicious kind of games. Hose, that might come up with some suspicious kind of games. I don't know if Plunk is a good theme, but I'm so tempted to put it in there. Judge. Yeah, it's like, is there any good phrases or something too? And at the end of the day, I know I'm coming for you all with the talent so priceless. I know I'm coming for you all. Oh, did Big Mode ever do another jam? I know Big Mode did. Yeah, Mode as a jam theme. I don't know if they ever did Big as a theme. Yeah, okay, that was this year at the very beginning of the year. Punch. Ooh, I like Punch as a theme too. Because that also gives you like a mixed drink or something too. And I do like punching things. Enough that I made a game called Punching Things. Maybe not the best theme, but it is something. Okay, that can go away. I guess this is fairly chill music-wise. Okay, good knack can go away. That can go away.
You know what I'm saying? My girl a millionaire. What you think about? What you talking about, man?
Sand. Yeah, shape. I was at like shape. But I don't think sculpt is in there. That's kind of like the idea of crafting or something. Oh, what was the one that when I was talking to my coworker, I said morph. Because we were talking about Treasure Planet, and I was like, morph is a character in Treasure Planet. I think it's a bit vague for a theme, but I think it's not bad. Yeah, it's because there's only 2 that I'm like, well, I want to do some good themes. Something like slide, maybe? I guess it does say I'm still playing Loot Plot, but software and game development, this might actually take me a while. Theme, ideation. Well, okay, jam theme ideation. No, game jam theme ideation. We'll do the full. There. For the absolutely nobody who was awake to watch this. Which is, again, trying to chase people off and say, go to bed. I should be going to bed. Go to bed. So, let's see. Do I want to stick with any of these? Do I want to come up with like a phrase? Is there a fun phrase? Oh, let's look at what were my favorite jam games and favorite jam themes? Loop, that was okay. Train, I thought was great. I think the game actually came out fun too, and I could pull it up, but it's late and I'm going to bed anyway. Let's see, so other themes. This was Built to Scale, which I think is a good theme, good phrase. Roll of the Dice, I think was not. I think they just made so many dice games. This was Only One, which I think is not a bad idea. And this was Roles Reversed. I think that was a little particular, a little specific. Just playing Minecraft with a friend, therefore not actively participating in chat. Well, I'm just mumbling to myself while trying to come up with jam themes, so it's not necessarily super necessary either. But if you have any ideas for jam themes, to throw in the Down to Jam there too. Like a web, I think was a... Well, this one was Lost and Found, which I thought was pretty good. This one was Repair, which I thought was pretty good. Let's see, is there any kind of word that kind of assumes a previous state and then also mentions like a future state? This was Transmission, kind of in that same vein. Yeah, this was What Do We Do Now, which I think was a terrible theme. This one really should have just been Perception, is the theme. But they did, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are, which is just way too long in the theme. But the theme was What Home Means to You. Yeah, I think the long phrases are a bit much. It's like a word or 2 words, I think is a great theme. Okay, and this didn't have, this didn't say. wise.
Screw your pride, you tend to cry. I'm running away.
When was this? Oh, this is January 2025. Missed it.
The wake up by your side is not satisfying. You try so hard to make me buy your tender lies. You try so hard cause you don't wanna say goodbye, baby.
Yeah, this was Wave, which I think was a good theme, but it did not come out as a good game. Roots, I think, was kind of meh as a theme. I don't know, it's not a bad theme, but the game didn't come out good. Yeah, Shadows and Alchemy being two different words was a bit much. This was somebody that, yeah, Regally Rotund was the theme. Ball. Just ball as the theme. So then you guaranteed get games about balls. Rotund is, I think, like, not necessarily a bad. Because it is just like round, right? That's basically what it is. Oh, a person that's large and plump. Round and spherical, or sonorous and grand slash eloquent. I think it's not too bad. This was Formation, I believe, was the thing. That was just Spoopy Jam, that was just supposed to be spoopy. That was Train. These, I don't, because these were 70 FPS, so I don't know that they had a specific thing. And this was just my first Summer Jam game, I think. This was Retro Games, I think. And I don't remember what these were. These were just not great games either. That's why they're at the bottom of the list there. Oh, and Bubble, I think, was a very recent Global Game Jam theme, so that's... Although, does Candy just come up with, like, sugar and candy and stuff? Or does it also come up with the idea of, like, eye candy and stuff? It looks like it just comes up with the... Sweets slash confectionery or preserves slash coating and saturating with a sugar syrup. So kind of. But I guess you could do the phrase like eye candy. Okay, I think I'm good on those. I think I'm kind of good at looking at that. And I am feeling tired and ready to sleep and stuff too. I think shred is pretty dang good. Because that's like shredding as in snowboarding, that's shredding as in paper, that's shredding as in... That's even like getting muscular and stuff too. Okay, that's one that I... Okay, wait, we're just gonna put that at the top. I think shred. That's a good one. Or that's even like shredding paper and stuff, which I didn't even mention. Punch, I guess if we're talking about paper, punch a hole in a piece of paper. Or punch. It's kind of like combat. I don't know, like... A rotund, just being kind of round. And the distortion being mostly like a visual thing. Action of distorting a distorted form or part, the action of giving a misleading account or impression. Change the form of an electric cell signal. Actually, I think that's a pretty good one too. Morph, I think, isn't... It's like... Just not... It's the ones that have, like, a lot of definitions. Image that has been morphed, an instance of morphing an image. And then change smoothly from one to another. Slide, because I'm kind of thinking that it's like a playground slide, but then also the idea of sliding around. Oh yeah, okay, so this is move smoothly along a surface, or change gradually, or worsen a condition, or lower level. I think I'll probably just go with shred and distortion. As much as I want to put plunk in there too. No, that's my idea that I want to stick with. I don't need other people to try to make it for me. Which is gonna happen anyway. Other people are gonna make my game for me better than me, faster than me, at the rate that I'm going. Which is fine, the idea is still out in the world. Okay, so shred as in... let's see, what is the definition here? It's paper shredding. Yeah, okay, that's even like scraps too. Scraps or small amounts. And then also cut into shreds. And then play a guitar fast, or... Okay, so this is, I guess scraps of material? Strip of material? Yeah, or scraped for something larger. Okay, it's both a scrap of material. It is a tear into shreds. Oh my goodness. Shreds. And this is playing the guitar. Or... And then this is snow sports. Alright, let's see what shredding. Because I'm not entirely sure where that came from in terms of like snowboarding. I think it's more specifically like snowboarding. Okay, shred. Okay, that's one suggestion. Ah, it can be edited, yeah. And the distortion, which was... the active distorting. Yeah, misleading a count, and then like an electrical signal. The active being distorted. A distorted form or part. Well, okay. It's kind of twisted, essentially. And then lying. And also like sound processing. I guess this is electrical signal or sound wave. Okay, sound processing. Whatever, it's vague, but that's also the, okay. I think those are fairly fun, fairly, fairly good, and I'm fairly sleepy and ready to go to bed because it's nearly 9 o'clock anyway. And everybody else already went to sleep, right? You all had better have gone to bed. That's a clip. Which I do want to do some clipping. 3. Y'all haven't gone to bed. Well, okay, good job. Good job going to bed and sleeping. Let's see. I can dump all y'all sleepy heads on somebody before I take off. Cause yeah, it's just it's because I'm missing an hour of sleep last night, where I just did not. Woke up in the middle of the night and then did not fall asleep again. Yeah, there's some software development happening over here, and I haven't stopped by in a while.
Probably like
Okie dokie.
print dash force times dash direction.
Not even 9.
Print
I'm an
dash
old
force
man. Do you
times
see the
dash
white
direction
beard?
To see if we,
The stand up.
yeah.
I am gonna go stand up and
Like being 700
get out of this chair and go to bed
or
anyway.
700.
And I probably should have been standing a little
Yeah.
more, but that's okay. I will stand up after
See, so
I will stand up and then go crawl into bed. Lie
So
down
that's
anyway.
the problem. The
I'll
dash
do a little bit of
directions
standing.
Never
Okay,
is-
but
is
we can go
never
right
going
over
to
here,
be
and then
dash
I can
direction
go
-1. So
to bed,
probably
because
try changing enter
I did not
to
sleep
because,
enough, so it doesn't matter what time it is. I need to
know,
sleep more.
Enter the handle input.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And will I stream this
Handle
weekend? I will want to, and
Yeah.
then probably not, but we'll see. Depends on how much I can get done chore-wise.
Hell.
Because I know
What is the name of the
people
function
do like
that you
it's
you
the
use
weekend is a
to
good time to stream, and yet
jump and move
I don't
to get the inputs?
end up doing it a ton.
It's cold.
But at any rate, I will be back on Monday with
think it's
more
moved.
Plunk.
Enter.
It's
Void.
No.
Parent
but-
velocity.
No.
We'll see. I may or may not stream this weekend.
Try move or idle.
But most
It's
likely
like
not.
something you
Okay,
need.
goodbye, good night. Thanks for stopping
It's
by. Have fun
process
sleeping.
input.
Bye.
Okay, nice. Try that one.
And then also now the
Process
actual
input.
buy button. Bye. If it'll let me do the end screen.
Okay.
If OBS
It's
will.
delta.
And delta.
Radio.
Delta.